Welcome to Ohio Rail Trail Routes and Roads.
This is day 8 of our bike packing trip, and it's the beginning of the day. We're still at the hotel, but pretty excited about it. I thought I'd be a little bummed because it's just the towpath flat after riding hills for the last 6 or 7 days. But I'm oddly excited about it just because it's somewhere we've been before. Kind of interested to see it again. I don't want to say we struggled through it, but it was definitely a lot of work before. So I thought maybe we'd, feel like I'm stronger at this point. So we'll do hopefully do better on this route. Last time we rode it, there were a lot of potholes, a lot of mud puddles, just different kind of stuff like that. That made it slow. We did get some rain last night. I heard a storm go by a couple times. So I don't expect it to be a whole lot different, but again, I just kind of anxious to see if I'm better than I was 10 years ago. So we'll see what happens. It'll be about 60 miles from Hancock to Cumberland, and no real services between point A and point B. So we'll stop this morning at Sheetz and grab some breakfast, pack a few things, and that'll be the end of the week. It's pretty fast trip. This is what eating at a gas station looks like. Every ledge is a table. Yeah, the C&O bicycle there, just off the trail. This was 10 years ago, but looks like they're still set up to host people. They had little kind of raised platform areas to put a sleeping bag on and such. So it was definitely a place to stay. And they had makeshift showers, which was cool. It was actually inside. They took basically the top off of a porta-john and set it on a plastic pallet and stuck a hose in there. It was warm water, if I remember correctly, so it was a good shower. So not a bad spot if you're right off the Super 8. Last night was, it was okay. Bed was comfortable, but if you're just gonna hit the trail and ride through there, recommend the bicycle shop, stopping in there, and I don't know, it was like $5 for a shower, and I don't know. Can't remember what it was to stay there, but it wasn't much, obviously. So. Whew. So we just had 2 deer jump out across the trail here in front of us, going pretty fast. And surprisingly, those are the first 2 deer we've seen since day 0, maybe day 1. Really been kind of surprised at the lack of wildlife that we've seen as remote as we felt, but and it's been cool. So I think things would be up moving around, but maybe we're not as remote as I feel like we are, but it felt pretty remote sometimes. So,
well, we were on state hunting lands.
That's true, we were on state hunting land, so maybe the animals are starting to read the signs. Take some pictures here. Coke furnaces? Coke furnaces? Cement. Oh, okay. Alright. Big river off to the left here. It's the Potomac. Yeah, I'm sure about that. And I'm guessing they didn't use the Potomac because it probably wasn't very manageable based on flow of water and stuff like that, I'm guessing. Hard to build locks on stuff because it was so big. Again, not 100% sure, but makes for a beautiful ride. That I am sure of. Wah, wah, wah. About mile 4 today. Which way you headed?
What's that?
Which way you headed?
That way.
Okay, all right, us too. Maybe we'll give you a hand.
Yeah, I was going to try to steer it and turn it under, but I think I'm just going to take my stuff off and throw my bike over and
Okay.
remount it. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise.
All right, so getting across the tree took us probably about 10 minutes. But that was helping Ron as well. Guy, he's riding across the United States. Just happened to be there when we were there. Super good guy. Like I say, it took about 10 minutes to get the bikes across, and then I probably spent 10 minutes talking to him. So, but maybe we'll run into Ron later today. Here's one of the locks that was part of this system. Kind of cool to think about the effort put forth to build this. I mean, we're talking about basically human and animal power, right? To not only cut these stones, but lay them in here, and really the engineering to go into not only laying it out, but making it happen. All National Park Service area beyond this point closed to public use.
Closed ahead. Guess we detour on the road around it.
All right.
I don't feel like walking through a creek.
No. So we got a bridge out, but it looks like they gave us a map to get around it. So I'm gonna take a picture of that with my phone. And this was put up August 12th, so just the other day. They must have had a washout.
So that says visitors can still cross the creek at their own risk or use the sign detour around the area that utilizes public roads.
Okay. What do you think? How many things have we not been able to get around?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a giant gaping hole in the road.
Right.
Yeah, let's take a detour. I think the road just follows right on the...
Yeah, that'd have been good if they'd allowed the spot to get through. All right, well, good news. Looks like we've got some good road to ride on. Bad news is, looks like there's a hill up there. So we've had one car pass us on this detour. I mean, we're maybe a half mile in, but risk feels pretty low. Again, a pretty steep hill up ahead. We were on the towpath, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago, whatever it was. We did ride up to a washout section, and we had to cross the shallow section. It was about knee deep of the canal and up a pretty steep hill
and down a section of train tracks, and then back down a steep hill, across the canal again. So it's all part of the adventure, but in reality, there's probably way more risk doing that than taking the detour today. So we're back on some fairly steep downhill gravel on this detour with some washout areas, so we don't want a repeat of yesterday. Hurt couldn't get stopped and wiped out. Now he's just making me feel good, trying to make me feel good. Whew. Hopefully he doesn't have a flat tire. Pretty sure that's the first hill we have both ridden that I've made to the top first. Ever. Whew, so this detour's a bit ridiculous. I don't know. At this point, I think I would have tried the other part knowing what was in front of me. I mean, it sounds like it was, based on the signage, that it was potentially passable at your own risk, but who knows what that means. That could be a bridge just without railings. Who knows? It's not like it ain't pretty. But these downhills are almost as much work on the upper half of the body as they are the uphills on the lower half of the body. Yeah, that detour is not good. Oh, in a downed tree. Are you kidding me?
We've gone 10.5 miles.
I know. It's all part of the adventure. Hey, this is our last day. Ron's got 3 more months of this. Can you hold my bike for a second? Just steady it. Get rid of some of this crap. Make it a little easier, maybe. Trying to avoid getting smacked in the shins. Ouch, like that. Exactly what just happened. All right, I feel better about that, except for my chin. Doesn't feel better about it, but I do. Good news, bad news. Looks like there's a hill ahead. This ride may never end. I feel like we're about to turn the corner and come face to face with a guy with a hockey mask and a chainsaw and a detour sign making shop. Not sure who would have advised this route as a detour, because now we got to go back up this damn hill. This is ridiculous. Okay. Walking from here. Yeah. Well, he was smart and went straight.
I mean, my concern was that notice was posted 2 days ago.
Right.
So it was flooded and out. Probably still flooded and out.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what it could have been. And we've seen what it looks like. I mean, you get a washout and it's potentially unpassable. We're mile 10.7, so I feel like if it was truly 2.5 miles.
Oh, the thing I saw said 5.5.
Oh, 5.5.
Where'd you get 2.5 from?
Just the numbers on the map.
Well, it's probably taking us 2.5 miles of trail.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, so I wanted to show you where I just came through. So we just came back down this super steep hill with plenty of washout, a lot of loose rock. Again, it was a lot of work. Then came through this gate to get onto this trail that is nicely paved. Don't know what trail this is, because the towpath trail is on the other side of the little creek there. So detour or not, since there is no sign, we are going to ride some miles on this nicely paved flat trail.
What do you mean there's no sign?
There's no sign to say to re-enter here, is there?
No, but the detour points up that way.
Screw that.
Okay. All right. Well,
We're going down this way next to the other path. Why anyone in their world's mind would not have used this part of the path, whoever it belongs to, it's not a road.
no, it's the Western Maryland Rail Trail.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know why they had us do that shit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Let's see what happens. I feel like a better option would have been to hollow out a log and build a canoe and go up the Potomac. That was not friendly. So, a little bit of signage tells us we're on the Western Maryland Rail Trail, which is not part of the towpath, but it parallels the towpath, which in glimpses through the woods you can see off to my left here. Why they wouldn't use this as the detour. We summarize our beliefs thinking that has some sort of federal to state type of maybe liability thing or something, versus where putting you on the roads, where riding those roads they put us on could have easily led to a bigger issue. Who knows? So we're gonna stay on this for the sake of time, because we're doing about 17 mile an hour on this thing versus about 10 to 11 on the gravel down there, which, that's not a bad trail. Not trashing the trail at all. I'm trashing the decision they made to detour off the trail and not use this. I don't get it. All right. Enough grumbling. Back to riding on a beautiful day. Still pretty cool out, but pretty humid. So, got this little bridge coming up. See what this looks like. Maybe we'll be able to see the bridge that was out. This is kind of cool. Oh yeah, all right. So if this is the issue, I'm not excited about it, because yeah, I guess there's a little bit of wash out there to the right, but I can't imagine that's it. So, but as you can see, that was one of the locks there. And then you had this creek flowing under there. So kind of a viaduct situation, which is pretty cool to think about. Again, how they made that work and the engineering to go with it. Right onto the trail? Huh? So that would have been the lock tender's house, I believe. Just what was right there. This is lock number 57. Really well intact. Very surprising. They would obviously close the gates right there, where that little jet out is, and would raise the water or lower the water depending upon which way you're coming. You can see off to the right there, the water would flow around. And this is changed a little bit. What we remember. Hello. Okay. So I just passed like 8 bikers in the last 5 minutes. Yes, 6 bikers, a hiker, and a dog maybe. But anyways, it's been a fairly busy piece of the trail here. We did stop and talk to one guy. Told him about the detour and not to take it, to use the other trail into Hancock. So we've kind of feel like we've done our trail duty. The guy we stopped and talked to was from Akron, Ohio. Didn't catch his name, but retired high school science teacher. Very interesting individual, as I guess most people are that seem to ride bikes long distance. So hope I'm not as crazy as some of those. So, but he gave us some fruit that you get at a Mexican grocery store. I think it's tamarind, I think is what it's called. They look like beans, big potted beans, or a pot of beans, and they're sweet like candy. They have a hard center core that is the seed that you throw out when you're done. It's a little sticky. Again, kind of like a Jolly Rancher almost kind of thing. So it's really good. So I'm going to check into that. He said it is not good for dogs. Does not do well with dogs. So shape. Oh, the guy we talked to did say there was a big tree down, I think just before or just after the Pawpaw Tunnel. So this is lock 63 1/3 from when I rode this 8 years ago. I went and looked that up, or I'd asked somebody or whatever. And basically there were just some surveying errors when the whole thing was surveyed, and they had to put a couple of extra locks in. All right, so turn the camera back on because I remember this section headed to the Pawpaw Tunnel. It is beautiful. This is what I think about when I tell people you don't get to see things from a car that you get to see from the road, or from the bike, is this section right through here. If you've never ridden through a tunnel, it's obviously it's cool, but some of the other cool things are it feels like air conditioning. So as you get closer to the tunnel, you get a little wind, you also get cool wind. So it's not dramatic right now, but like sometimes when it's hotter outside, you get probably a bigger effect. And it's not hot today, but this is the spot I think about when I say you can't see from a car. There's things you get to see from the bike. So when it gets dark in here, so oh, I lost my headlights somewhere. It's gonzo. It's gonzo. I'm not gonna go back. You can see the other end pretty good. So this is a little bumpy through here. Of course, you got water leaking from above, which is little, I don't know, a little spooky, I guess, little, but it's done that, I'm sure, for 100 years. Whew. That felt like a pretty long way. I don't know how long that is. Gotta be half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, maybe. So we stopped at the picnic table here just after the Pawpaw Tunnel to grab a little something to eat. Hard-headed Danish. I had some donuts that I got at the Sheets this morning. That was a very large red-headed woodpecker. So this trail's in much, much, much better shape than it was 8 to 10 years ago. Eight to 10 years ago, it was really just double track, potholes and mud, and was not great, not even good. They've done a nice job making it better. We've seen lots of people out using it today, so hope that's part of the reason and part of the solution as well. All right, we got another tree down, but we've been told about this. But we'll see what. Yeah, this doesn't look real bushy, so it might just be a lift and take stuff off, lift over. We'll see what happens.
Oh, you got to put both hands on the front. Alright, I'm over. You're over? Yep. I got your bike. I got your bike. Alright. Let's see it. Whew.
Lock 68. Block number 72. So we've got about 4 miles to go, and it has not rained on us all week while we've been biking. And it started to rain. So this is another one of those really cool cities to ride into, just because of where it sits and the views, obviously with the mountains around it. It's pretty awesome. We came in the other way when we rode it in 08. We were headed the other direction, and it was literally all downhill for about 10 to 12 miles. Hello. There's a canal boat redone. Much bigger than you would think, but kind of cool.